In the previous unit, students learned about functions and linear functions in particular. Prior to engaging in Unit 5, students should be familiar with linear functions from previous units in this course and from work in 8th grade. They have been formally introduced to functions and function notation and have explored the behaviors and traits of both linear and nonlinear functions. Additionally, students have spent time evaluating exponential expressions. In Unit 5, students will explore exponential functions. Specifically, they will simplify numeric and algebraic expressions using the laws of exponents and simplify numerical radical expressions involving square roots. Additionally, they will interpret the meaning of the values of a and b in exponential functions of the form the function of x equals a times b to exponent of x in real-world problems. Finally, they will write exponential functions to describe problems arising from mathematical and real-world situations, including growth and decay. They will also graph exponential functions that model growth and decay and identify key features of the graph, and compare linear and exponential functions. Algebra 1 is the first time students will be engaging in Standard 11B, representing, evaluating, and solving in mathematical and other contexts. Students will learn to simplify expressions using the law of exponents, where the exponents include integers and rational numbers using the laws of exponents. This will provide a basis for them to solve exponential equations in Algebra 2. Now we see the vertical alignment for Standard 9A in determining domain and range. In 6th grade, students take data from tables and graphs and identify which quantities are dependent and which quantities are independent. The background from 6th grade supports students as they find the domain and range of exponential functions. In Algebra 1, students represent domain and range using inequalities, and then in Algebra 2, they represent them using intervals and set notation. The vertical alignment for the next several standards show that exponential function topics are first addressed in Algebra 1. For Standards 9B and D in identifying key attributes of functions, students explore exponential functions and the key parameters that affect their behavior and learn how to graph these functions to model exponential growth or decay. In Unit 5, we also see Standard 9C in representing exponential equations. Students will learn to write exponential functions that describe scenarios of both growth and decay. This will lead to students modeling real-world situations with both exponential and logarithmic equations in Algebra 2. While Standard 9E also lacks explicit prerequisite skills, the content regarding generalizing relationships from data is an extension of the previous standards. Here, students will write exponential functions to fit data and make predictions. This skill is important to be able to use data to make decisions and judgments in Algebra 2. Finally, students will compare exponential and linear functions, calling on Standard 3B. Let's review the vertical alignment for this standard. In 7th grade, students calculated unit rates, and in 8th, students modeled linear relationships investigating slope. In Algebra 1, students will take real-world situations and calculate slope when information is provided in a variety of formats. This helps students compare the rates of change for linear and exponential functions across different intervals. As you move through this unit and find students who have gaps in their understanding of the prerequisite skills, consider using these resources available in the OpenStax Pre-Algebra book.